Some decisions reveal more about you than years of overthinking ever could, not because they're logical, not because they're calculated, but because they happen before logic has time to interfere. Right now, imagine this. In front of you stand 4 horses. They are not just animals. Each one carries a different emotional presence, a different psychological force, a different part of you. Before you start comparing colors or trying to guess what each one means, pause. Take a breath. Let your eyes rest naturally. Notice which horse pulls you in, quietly, instinctively, without explanation. That first pull matters, because the moment you start analyzing, you move away from the truth this exercise is designed to reveal. Psychologist Carl Jung believed that symbols speak directly to the unconscious mind. Long before we can explain ourselves with words, our inner world already understands images, instincts, and emotional resonance. The unconscious doesn't communicate in sentences. It communicates in attraction, in discomfort, in curiosity, in tension. The horse you feel drawn to is not random. It reflects a psychological force that is currently shaping your decisions, whether you realize it or not. Many people spend years trying to figure themselves out by thinking harder, reading more, questioning everything. But some of the most accurate insights come when we do the opposite, when we choose without justification. This works because it bypasses the rational mind and reaches something deeper. As you looked at the horses, you may have felt calm, or tension, or familiarity, or resistance. Don't correct those reactions. Resistance is meaningful. Sometimes we are drawn not to what feels comfortable, but to what feels necessary. Now hold your chosen horse in your mind. Each one represents a different relationship with instinct, emotion, freedom, or hidden power. None of them is better than the others. They simply reveal which part of your psyche is currently asking for attention. This isn't about predicting your future. It's about recognizing what's influencing your present. Jung called this process individuation, the gradual unfolding of who you truly are beneath expectations, roles, and fear. Let's explore what your choice might reveal. Horse 1. Instinct. If the first horse called to you, you are deeply connected to instinct. Not in a reckless way, but in a deeply human one. This horse represents raw psychological energy. You feel before you explain. You react before you justify. You move before you hesitate. People drawn to this horse often experience emotions intensely. Passion, anger, desire, excitement, frustration. Your emotional system is highly responsive. Your body often knows the truth before your mind catches up. You trust your gut, even when you can't fully explain why. That's strength. But instinct without awareness can lead to burnout, conflict, or regret. Your growth doesn't come from suppressing emotion. It comes from guiding it. There's natural leadership in this archetype. People feel your energy. You bring movement into stagnant spaces. But balance comes when instinct and reflection work together. Ask yourself, where in your life are you being asked to trust your true feelings instead of explaining them away? Your fire isn't meant to be extinguished. It's meant to be directed. Horse 2. Depth. If the second horse drew your attention, your power lies in depth. Your inner world is quiet, but far from empty. You observe more than you speak. You process internally. You notice details others overlook. Shifts in tone, subtle emotional changes, unspoken tension. Some people might mistake this for distance. It's actually emotional intelligence. You understand the weight of words. You don't rush to respond. Silence doesn't scare you. In many ways, it feels like home. But there's a shadow here. When emotions remain unspoken for too long, they don't disappear. They settle. This can create heaviness, disconnection, emotional fatigue. Your strength is reflection. Your growth is expression. Not everyone needs access to your inner world, but someone should. Where are you holding back words that need to be spoken? Your voice doesn't need to be louder. It needs to be trusted. Horse 3, movement. If the third horse captured you, you feel most alive in motion. This archetype represents freedom, evolution, and transformation. You are not comfortable staying the same for too long. Routine drains you. Repetition feels suffocating. You sense when a chapter of your life has ended, even if nothing is visibly wrong. You don't ask, "Who am I?" You ask, "Who am I becoming?" But constant change has a shadow. Sometimes movement becomes escape. Sometimes change hides avoidance. Are you running towards something or away from something? Your strength is adaptability. You reinvent yourself courageously. But some transformations require stillness before they unfold. Growth for you means learning when to move and when to pause. Freedom becomes meaningful when it's guided by intention. Horse 4, the shadow. If the fourth horse drew you in, you are connected to what lies beneath the surface. This represents the shadow, the parts of yourself that were once rejected, hidden, or misunderstood. Maybe you learned early that certain traits were too much, too sensitive, too intense, too ambitious, too independent, so you hid them. But what we suppress doesn't disappear. It waits. The shadow is not darkness. It is unclaimed power. Strong emotional reactions to others often reveal shadow material: irritation, envy, admiration, judgment. These are mirrors. They show qualities you either deny or secretly long to reclaim. Integration of the shadow isn't about becoming someone new. It's about becoming whole. Ask yourself, what parts of me am I still hiding to maintain approval? You are not meant to eliminate the shadow. You are meant to walk beside it consciously. Integration. The real message. Your choice was not a label. It was a signal. No human being is made of only one force. Instinct without reflection becomes chaos. Depth without expression becomes isolation. Movement without grounding becomes restlessness. Shadow without awareness becomes self-sabotage. True psychological growth comes from integration, not identification. Your chosen horse shows where your energy naturally flows. The others show what may be underdeveloped or waiting in the background. Growth begins with awareness. Notice where you feel tension in your life. Often that tension signals imbalance, one force dominating while another is ignored. Wholeness doesn't come from eliminating parts of yourself. It comes from listening to all of them. You don't choose one horse forever. You learn to ride all four. With awareness, with balance, with courage. The unconscious becomes less frightening when it is understood, and self-knowledge, even when uncomfortable, is always empowering. So now ask yourself, which horse did you choose? And more importantly, what is that part of you asking for right now?